Hey now. So been away for a little bit. I was out of town, seeing Dave Matthews in New York City. Not that any of you care, but we're back and I'm going to do an autograph analysis of someone I was really afraid to record, and that's James Dizzy Dean. We'll get to that in a second, why I was so afraid to record this video. But before we do that, I would say Dizzy Dean is one of the most overrated players in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I know that's crazy to say. Everyone knows the name Dizzy Dean. I think because the nickname Dizzy, which he got like when he was in the I think the Army before he even started playing baseball, he got the name Dizzy and it stuck. And he's one of those players that has like a larger than life personality. After baseball, he was constantly doing radio and media. His face was everywhere. But if you look at his baseball statistics, it's not outstanding. It really isn't. 150 wins, even 150, 83 losses, 3.02. He got in the Hall of Fame on his 11th ballot. And I really think one of the driving forces of him getting in the Hall of Fame is, I mean, he was on the Gas House game, but that wasn't it. It was more like after baseball, his face and his voice and his personality stayed in baseball. He was everywhere. He was in commercials. So that really helps. So if you look at the baseball reference and you look at his similarity pictures and pictures that were like him, there's like they had the 10 most comparable pitchers on that list, and a total of zero pitchers of comparable to Dizzy Dean are in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, he had a great short wingspan. Again, last National League pitcher to win 30 games and everything. But you can make an argument that Dizzy Dean is not a Hall of Famer, and it would be a stronger argument than you would realize. It just everyone knows the name Dizzy Dean. So I don't know. Maybe people even know his first name was like James Hanna. But anyways, why I'm so scared about Dizzy Dean is the only thing consistent about his autograph was its inconsistency. It was inconsistent throughout his life. It got more bold, and we'll look at it in a minute as he grew older. And even worse is he had a lot of secretarial signatures. His wife signed for him. His company Flagstaff signed for him. They would send out reprints of his real signature. And all of these have gotten past the big TPAs at one time or another because they were still learning. No one realized how many different avenues he would go. I would say to avoid signing autographs. From all accounts, he was a very friendly, jovial person. But it's just like he got so many flooded with autograph requests because he was such a popular personality after baseball that his wife took over doing his mail. He had a secretary take over when he mailed it to like Flagstaff beer or his game of the weeks when he announced it. And so he just, in order to keep up with the man, he just had to employ either a pre-printed signature or an autograph. I mean, there's a lot out there. I'm going to try and cover it all. I'm not going to get to it all. I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to make some mistakes along the way with Dizzy Dean because there's that many varieties of autographs out there, both real and fake. I nearly bought fake autographs many times because there were good deals. So I guess we're 3 minutes in. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the autograph analysis of Dizzy Dean. So I want to start with the PSA autograph database first. So there's a lot of things to look for in Dizzy Dean. Now, this is a later in life signature. When Dizzy Dean started off, it was a very, like, say, rudimentary autograph, and we'll get to those. What I'm looking for when I'm buying a Dizzy Dean is a later in life autograph. And the reason is there's more signs of what to look for. Particularly, I'm looking for the Z, and the Y to come straight down. I want to see minimal loops like that. You see how here Z, and a deep down Y. Additionally, I want to see the D when it loops around to go through his last name. And finally, the last letter of his name, the D, looks almost like an S to me, if you could see that. So, I mean, let's keep going here. Again, see, sharp, the D goes through. I mean, this so how it curls down and rounds down like that. I see it as sort of an S, but that's what I'm looking for. A U or an S, something like that. I don't want to see a W, and we'll get to that later. Again, this one's a little tougher. I'm not really sure. You can see Dizzy and his brother Paul right below it here. But again, pretty sharp down. The S is really nice. Again, this is what I want to see. Sharp Z, sharp Y. The D going through. And see, again, to me, that looks like a lowercase s, which again, what I really want to see. Now, again, has the JH. Again, this is a little more formal. And so it looks here, it looks almost like a W, but again, the N, you want to see drop down. It's so important you want to see drop down. Now, again, his formal signatures look very, I won't say very, but different than his the fake ones, the Secretarial ones. I don't think there's many fakes, but I just read an article that they think Dizzy Dean is one of the most faked autographs or Secretarial signed autographs of anyone that had died like after 1970. Now, again, this is a very early in life 1930 contract. You can see the J and the H is like, they're very sort of shaky. I don't know how illiterate he was. I really don't know, to be honest. Again, now here's a more formal Jerome Herman Dean, but again, this is his 1930 contract, full name. Now we're getting to the Dizzy. This looks like it was signed probably during his career. But again, even now, the Z is becoming more of a straight edge, like a jagged edge, if you see that. And the ends being more pronounced out. Dizzy Dean, 1936. I got to be honest, this autograph may have been signed in 1936. I'm not, it probably was because the Z, and the Y. I'm not 100% sure when this was signed. I'm not a huge fan of this one, not saying it's right. But again, this is what I'm looking for here. A nice down Z, a Y way down. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this autograph. I don't like it when the D's go above his name and it's not a straight edge down. There's a chance this is a wife signed autograph the more and more that I look at it. I'm not going to lie to you because it's so loopy. There's a lot of loops in the Z, and the D doesn't go through his name. It stays above the name. I don't like it. Again, if it were I buying an autograph, I wouldn't buy this one. I'm not saying it's fake. I thought we just see this. Again, this is an endorsed sign check. Again, you're looking for, see the jagged Z's. Usually the Y attaches to the D. It's not always. But again, we want to see this drop down at the end. Signed plaques again. And again, a lot of these were signed by his wife. I tried to look for some of the wife ones. I couldn't find them. Again, I think these are all good. Again, this is exactly what you want to look for. It looks like an S. You can see that the Z jags down and the D goes through it. I mean, maybe we've gotten through all these. I'm trying. No, we haven't because here's some signed cards, obviously. This photo, while this photo is real, this is a very common photo that's been faked or reprinted. I've seen this photo with this autograph on it. Again, this is a real autograph, but it turns out this is a reprint signature. It's not a real signature. Yes, even back then, and I know I'm moving fast right now. Okay, I think we've gotten all the way through the autographs here. So next, I just want to show you what I went through. So this was the very first Dizzy Dean autograph I got. I paid $150 for it. I think it was a Jim Stinson one. Again, what I liked about it was, even though the pen ran dry, you can see it went through here. Again, a sharp, jagged Z, and the Y. The Y should be probably the letter that drops the most down by far. And again, the D. And again, you see that little, to me, it looks like an S at the end. But I mean, it felt comfortable to me. I upgraded this to a signed government postcard. Again, what I wanted to see was a sharp Z and the Y. The D going through the name, not above it, not stopping through the name. The Dean of the last should be going all the way down like this. Forget the fact it's a government postcard, which I always enjoy. I'm looking for the sharp, acute angles in the Z, and the Y. Nothing loopy. I want to see this go through. And again, I'm not saying the other ones are fake, but this is like good for Dizzy Dean. Now, eventually I moved on to this, and this is a 1960 signed contract. Very rare with his full name. I wish I could zoom in more. I can't. But you got the full Jerome H. Dean. Again, this is something you rarely ever see. His full name is going to draw a premium because he rarely ever signed it. This is his 1960 contract to do the radio announcements, the radio broadcast for the New York Yankees. Also signed by fellow Hall of Famer George Weiss, which I hope to get to because that's could be years from now. But you can see the full Jerome H. Dean. And it's tough to see here, but the S does drop down and the D is solid. I mean, I really like this. So I want to move on. I mean, I was going through Heritage. I was hoping to find some fake ones. I got to be honest, I didn't see anything in fakes in terms of Heritage. They all look good. Again, usually when you see a Dizzy Dean autograph, you're looking for the upper left corner. That seemed to be where he's favored. I think the wife tend to favor the bottom versus the top. But again, you see the Z, the very sharp, the jagged, the D goes all the way through. The Y connects to the Dean of his name, and it has that curved S at the bottom. So I want to go to eBay because, of course, there's goods and bads on eBay. Now, this one is on eBay, GAI, which is bad. But I think this is a wife-signed autograph. I don't think it's someone forged it with the intention of selling it bad. So if we zoom in here, where you're going to see what the wife is, the I, you see how it zigs across, but it goes over the IZZY. That's the key thing with the wife. She would not go through. She would go over. And you can see here, it's not as jagged. Yeah, the Y is still the lowest letter. And again, even with the Dean, you want to see a drop usually at the end. You don't want to see it stretched out like this. So my guess is this is a wife signed signature and not a true Dizzy Dean autograph. So moving on, I want to show you another one. Again, this one was passed by JSA. I still think the wife signed it. And the reasons why I say that, a lot of reasons why I think the wife signed it, even though it's got a basic JSA cert. Again, you see how that line is above everything right here? I don't like that. The Z and the Y are not jagged. They're kind of loopy. The N doesn't fall down like it should be. It goes straight out. It's just, if I had to put money on it, and I think you can see somewhere here, it's got a JSA basic cert attached to it. I don't know where. I know I saw JSA basic cert. So I'm sorry, JSA. I think, in my opinion, this is a wife signed autograph, not a true JSA. Now, here, what I want to show you is a Secretarial. This is a common Secretarial Flagstaff beer. Now, again, how do you tell? There's a couple things. Most commonly, the Z's are not jagged. They're nice and loopy, if you could see that. So, and the N doesn't go through. It goes below. So these are secretarially signed. This is a common secretarially signed autograph. This one's on eBay right now. I don't think it has a TPA, nor that it should. I want to go this one. Here's another one. Again, it's tough to see. Maybe if I go this way right here, we could blow it up a little better right here. But if you can see, the Z is very loopy. It's not jagged. Yes, the D goes through. You want to see that. But again, it's not jagged. Most likely this was secretarially signed. The TPAs know that. It's not advertised as having a TPA. Now, this same photo right here. Now, this one I actually think is good. If we could zoom in here. Yeah, you see how the Z is much more jagged. The Y is connected to the D right here, and the N drops down and comes out. This is what we want to see in a Dizzy Dean autograph. Of course, this does have a Becca certificate with it. Again, because it's good. That's why it has a Becca certificate with it. So, you still there? You still have faith in your. I mean, again, even if it's your Dizzy Dean is a good one, like I showed you before with the one, there's a lot of stamped or pre-printed signatures that were good, especially ones with him in the broadcast booth. I couldn't find one real quickly, but I think that was the first one I ever bought, was him in a broadcast booth with somebody else. And it turns out the signature was a pre-print, and I returned it. I mean, the seller knew it wasn't with the TPA when I bought it. Seller knew. I think the TPAs know now. But I mean, according to Ron's book, a lot of the wife's signatures, a lot of the secretarial signatures at the very beginning of these TPAs, these autographs got through. A matter of fact, I mean, I have my old Bert book up here. This is from the 90s before we could all have been millionaires if we would have come up to the PSA at that time. But even then, they were noting, like, listen, his secretarials are really, really good. You really need to be careful. So check out your Dizzy Dean. Send me an email if you're not sure. I mean, again, there's various signatures of his out there. If I were to buy one today, if it's not an official document, it better be very slanted with those angles, like I said, with the Y attaching to the D and the Dizzy with the D and the D going right through the signature. So we're going to move from Dizzy Dean to another one of the impossibles, and that would be Ed De La Gente. There's like an amazing screw up, one of the all-time screw ups of all time with Ed De La Gente, but I'm not going to give it away. You're going to have to watch it. So until then, as always, keep collecting.